Back to Resident Evil 4 Remake. Last time we took on the village and the windmill section. So continuing forward. As mentioned in the last part, make sure that you grab the blue medallion, shoot them down, knife them, do whatever you got to do to bring it down so that you don't have to come back and do it later. And then just keep on making mental notes about all of the treasure spots that you find throughout the game, because you will have to remember to get them before you progress to each new section. And this right here is a callback to the original game. We won't see this time around, so that's a major feature that they took out in the remake. But we will revisit that topic at a different time. Just some stuff. And then the really cool thing about the game too is that you actually don't have to like fight that encounter. If you just know to grab the item, go in here, unlock the gate, you can really just pull everyone in here and then just kind of sidestep dodge them, you know? But the only issue that you'll have is that you'll have to push this thing out of the way while they're chasing after you. We got Lago, which is lake.
Lake's gotta be this way. Give me a break.
And like this would be a perfect opportunity to go ahead and use this. And then just like that, it never happened. And what's really important to note is that you saw that you could take double hits. So you really want to be careful about like your encounters. Try to keep everything minimum to the best you can. Otherwise, they'll just slap you to death. So if you can manage a shot on him, he'll do that. This is just much like the original as well. This little section right here, they just did this one a bit differently as well. A lot more houses. What's really important to note here is that there's going to be these little collectibles. They're called Salazar dolls. This is new to the remake, but there'll be one per chapter, and you'll have to get them in, one run each. So by the time they actually tell you about this, it's actually in the second chapter, so you probably missed the first one. And he would be in this room, somewhere in the rafters up here or in the corner. I can't remember because the game's recognizing that I've already done all that, so I won't be able to show every Salazar doll unless I completely erase the entire game, and I ain't trying to do that. But yeah, so this is a location of where one such doll would be at, and then you got to destroy it, and you'll be good to go. So it's just odd and weird that they decided to do tutorials about things in later chapters, rather than just getting it all knocked out in the very first one. So I didn't really enjoy that too much. And then if you just look up, you'll see a little bird's nest. So every now and again, just kind of peek your head upwards and you'll see some stuff kind of just dangling around. This is an instance of an extended map treasure. And he decided to become a door you'll have to remember for later. So if you don't have the deluxe edition, you won't have this here. It's just earlier access to different treasures.
This the place?
Get a very ominous photo of a dude and a young boy.
What's that noise?
So when that attached case shows up next to an ammo, that means that you got the bonus activated for whatever you're using. It's really quick, so you have to kind of like stare at it, but that's just an indication that this thing right here could have had anything inside of it. Usually it's money, but because of the case setup that I'm wearing, it actually had something different. And the way this is done is really different from the original as well.
That hurts, you know?
Seemed like you really wanted to talk.
How observant, senor. Now, say, you got a smoke?
You know, those things will kill you.
Oh, well, maybe just untie me then, huh? Joder, not this guy!
Who are you? Hey, stop right there!
And then at the end of every single chapter, they will give you a little ranking and all that kind of stuff. You can kind of check what you did. No more than just kind of improving on your own stuff. So, a lot of useless information here. store things as you need to.
Sacrificial lamb, you will receive our most sacred body. It begins now.
Oh, what the fuck? Hey, stop it. Hey, Yankee. Got your name? Leon. Quiet type, eh? I'm Luis Serra. Guess you, me, picked the wrong spot to vacation, eh? Hey, stop it. You move, I move. And I'm beat up enough as it is. I can see you're thinking. Bet you've been in spots like this before, huh? I guess. You're here looking for someone? One more guess. Maybe some señorita? Young girl? Talk. Now. All right. See. Heard chatter about moving a señorita. Moving her? Where? Who knows? But later, saw some men dragging someone to the old church. Hanging with you, not helping.
Hey, we're not done here!
Later, amigo.
Shit, they took my gear.
Condor 1 to Roost. I've located Baby Eagle. It sounds like she's being kept in some church.
Great. That's good news.
I heard it from this guy I met. Said his name is Luis Serra. There's something fishy about him. I need you to run a background check.
We'll call Condor 1. I'll see what I can find. In the meantime, make your way to that church.
Right. I'm probably due for confession anyway. Condor 1, out.
So they definitely have not stopped Leon's funny quips. We had the bingo line, and then he just keeps on making little dad jokes here and there. Glad they kept that character for him. And the way that they do it now, RE4 was filled with quick time events. Like, you had to mash buttons and hit buttons at a certain time in order to do like certain cutscene sequences. And then they completely replaced that with more of like an action-y approach. A lot of cutscenes for the areas that we used to actually have interactions with. So for purists, I'm sure it's probably not a welcome sight, because you actually could like die in those scenes and it would count as like a legit death towards your death counter. And RE4 has a system, a little hidden system inside of it, where the better you perform in the game, the harder the game actually becomes. So by not dying or not taking a lot of damage, missing your shots like crazy, that's when the enemies become like less aggressive or more aggressive towards you, depending on your play style, basically. So it's a bit of a reactant difficulty, even though we put it on, you know, standard, assisted, hardcore, whatever it might be. Just be aware that the more you do better, the harder the game actually does become. Because they're trying to strike a good balance. But at some point it does balance out to where, like, even if you're really good at it, then standard mode or whatever should be very easy. because you know how to deal with the enemies. And then, yeah, so chapter 1, I mean, they pretty much almost faithfully took chapter 1 and did everything that was like part of the intro, like the very first hour of the game. So the house was very different. The village was pretty much the same, added that the chainsaw guy pretty much cuts things down and you can't run up the clock tower no more in order to avoid any kind of like unnecessary battling. So they really wanted to keep the pressure on you pretty heavily. The villagers are extremely faster, more deadlier than they ever been. So it's definitely like a panic mode test. The knife parry system, that's what they really went for in this game. So like that lady that threw the axe at me, like if I had just hit L1 at the right time, I would have been able to parry that and then not take any damage. But at the cost of using my knife's like little health bar to block it out. So a little bit of an unnecessary hit, but it doesn't really matter. Because once you get the yellow, red, and green mixture, you do want to use those so that you can get a bigger health bar. And then we talked about the treasures. So largely the treasures are the same, except for like some of these newer treasures are definitely more different. They were not available in the old game. And then this section coming up, this is going to train and test us on how well we're doing with the knife only. So a little bit of a scary part because you don't have none of your gear, and they want to make use of the new stealth mechanic and the knife mechanic on this part. So this is the, I guess, the hard part of the game if you're doing the professional run, because you don't have all your equipment. And in addition, this part is definitely handled a lot more differently than it was in the original. Like, they did this completely different. You see, the only thing we got is a kitchen knife, so we got to make that work. And yeah, you're pretty much going to be knifed up to this point. That's all you can do.
Hey, that's my gear.
And there's no way to like throw rocks or anything like that. Like, you actually have to get in combat with these dudes. And another hidden mechanic that I don't know why the game doesn't teach this, or maybe they do, but we haven't seen it in the tutorial, is if you actually like last second parry dodge those things, you get like a critical parry that sets them up for a stagger, and that's how you deal with the melee kicks and all that, so you can kind of counterattack just like that. We did see that there was a 1 out of 3 that popped up. That's not counting the death of the man that we just killed, it's counting the death of the rat. So there's 3 rats in this section, and I didn't want to give that away. I wanted there to be the note to show that we had to do this. But this is like another one of those extra little side quest things, I guess. And it's just kill the vermin. We're going to see plenty of that through the game. And we'll see who gives those. And you can pop the trap so they don't get in your way.
I'll be taking these back.
Just take a minute to analyze what you got going on here. I would put on your shitty knife first before using the good ones. The game will default and put the better knives on for you.
Over here, stranger.
Who's that?
Let's do some business then, eh?
And then the return of our beloved and most iconic character in Resident Evil 4, the Merchant. Really nice to see him again. And I was just having a conversation with my wife, trying to, remember the game and how it felt playing the first time. And like the general consensus about him in the RE community is that he is a great follow-up. It's not the same voice actor to the original game, and he does talk a shit ton. Like, he talks way more than the old Merchant did. But whoever did it, I mean, they're phenomenal. They portray the character exactly the way we would have wanted for a remake, and they did so without sacrificing him to be some kind of an idiot character. So that much is appreciated on their part. I think they found the right voice actor for that moment.
So that's a request done and dusted, eh? Good stuff, mate.
We got pest control, get rid of the rats that have taken up the factory. We don't know if they're carrying any diseases. We better not find out. So yeah, these are new. Their little side questy things are very new to the game. These never happened in original. Original only had us shoot medallions, and you had to shoot 15 of them so you could get a special weapon, and that was it. But even then, the weapon wasn't really that great. It was only good for the early game. You don't really want to be wasting ammo on rats. They're annoying, but you can just deal with them naturally.
Yes. Took care of a request, did ya? I can tell by the look on your face.
How are the requests coming along? Did you know that you can trade the spinals you receive as a reward for valuable goods that can't be bought otherwise? We got loads of useful items, but I recommend you pick up a treasure map the most. These maps detail the locations of the cult's cherished hidden treasures. Jesus. Took me and the lads a lot of time to find them, but with these maps handy, you'll never be skint again. Sure, you may have to venture into some dangerous areas to get them, but you can handle that, right? So, a much different take on the spinals, whatever you want to call them. I'm pretty sure it's spinal, but they are no longer just a treasure that you get in your treasure list that, and you could just sell them like the Velvet Blue back in the old game. Now they actually have like a legitimate purpose, and if you see at the very top right above the Pesetas count, we got those little like teardrop looking pink magenta looking diamonds, and those are actually used for special treasure like he just mentioned. So it is in your best interest to do all of the side questing so you can get every single one of his rewards, because they actually are really good. Some of them are, you know, negligible, like maps and all that, once you know how to like play the game or whatever, but if you're new and you're jumping into it, you probably want it.
Well done.
And then now we have a little bit of a dilemma with our inventory space because we have a new ammo that we can pick up. Let's go ahead and talk to the merchant.
Welcome. Nice work. I got something new for you.
So cool thing about the merchant, right? This is exactly what I was saying about why do we have pesetas? This has never been a thing in Resident Evil. We have a currency system because we have a merchant. And the merchant is useful for a lot of different shit. First off, you can sell anything you need to get money.
Your valuables won't do you much good in the grave.
The money is good for tune-ups and buying new weapons. You cannot buy ammo, so just keep that in mind. But when you're tuning up your weapons, you can increase their firepower, how much bullets they hold, the reload speed, the rate of fire, and then their exclusive is a ability that you can only upgrade once you get every upgrade in the gun first. So you'll be spending a lot of money, and these are meant to be like end game type of things, unless you purchase those golden tickets with, you know, real money. And it's basically, like I said, it's a pay to win. So I have 17 of them, but we're not going to use any of them for this run because this is supposed to teach new players on how to play the game in a correct way. So we don't want to spoil that by like literally having super powerful weapons up to this point when you're not supposed to. And then what makes them really, really valuable is you are able to repair your knife, your actual combat knife, you're able to repair it here, and it's always worth doing this.
That's good work.
And then you want to upgrade the durability when it's available.
Dazzled, are you? Our craftsmanship demands no less.
Somebody just puked.
Mommy, Adrian puked in my room. Okay, I'm coming.
If you want a fighting chance out there, you best tune up your kit.
Okay.
Like I said, don't be a dad and do this stuff. It's just not. Fuck. Is he alright? I'll be done with this soon. I'll help you out. God damn it. Yep, little kids, man. They be puking. Alright, so what's really important to note too is any key items that you used in the past, like the Hunter's Lodge key, it has no more value to us, so you can actually sell this thing along with the pendant and all these that you found so far. If you want to, you can place the rubies inside of the jewelry now and get even more money. I'm not going to sell these because this is cheap, right? Like, I earn these through the regular gameplay, and if I sell these, I'd have 50,000 more pesetas than probably everyone else is that we watch in the game. So we're not going to do that, along with our primal knife. But yeah, you can sell ammo, you can sell your hand grenades, your flash grenades. I would not suggest doing that though at all. Just don't do it. Don't sell your DLC items. That just makes no sense. Yeah, but you can sell anything. I mean, we could sell all these, and we get like 1 million, right? We get like 1 million pesetas right out the gate just from selling these things. So like I said, this is like a pay to win. But don't do that. We're gonna play it the normal way. And then once you're happy with what you're selling here,
A deal well struck.
then we can go into durability once again. And I'm telling you, the knife is so critical to upgrade that it's, in my opinion, worth it to do that. Okay. And then with your new inventory space,
All my wares are in tip-top shape, I assure you.
I'm sure, my dude. Now we can buy the inventory case upgrade, and these are always worth it.
Never hurt anyone. Perfect size for you, stranger.
So what's really important to note too about the merchant is that every chapter he'll have a discounted item. So it's hard to know what is on discount until you get to that chapter. Or you can just look it up online and see what is going to be for sale in the next round because, you know, like the bolt thrower, for example, right? So spoiler territory, once you go to the next chapter, even though it's a weapon you can buy right now, he'll actually have it for a discounted price only in that chapter. And it'll be a lot cheaper. So you can wait to buy it, and you can wait to buy a lot of these things until they drop in price. Or you can just buy it now, so you have it, and then you're good. The bolt thrower, do not sleep on this weapon. This thing is actually really good because it shoots, basically it's a crossbow, and it shoots darts that you can pick up from enemies, except for explosions.
Seen anything you like, stranger?
So this gun is actually really good. Do not sleep on this thing. It can be the difference in your early game playthrough, especially on hardcore. I think it's mostly useful in hardcore because you run out of ammo and you don't get a lot of ammo drops even with the attached case upgrades and everything. This is your rifle, the old reliable. Eventually we're gonna get this. You know, we need it. He has first aid sprays that's available through each chapter. And he's not always going to sell them. Like, there's not going to be, like, you know, 20 different first aid sprays, but he'll have an inventory, and these will always stay there. So you don't ever feel rushed to buy this stuff. You can buy it at any point in the game. But the things that I suggest the most are the knife durability, and anytime you get an attached case upgrade, you want to upgrade your inventory space because you can just hold more. And then you can kind of just cycle through the little panels here and whatever. As far as tuning up is concerned, if you're gonna tune up, I would tune up your firepower first, like at least one level because it is very expensive, and then I would go with ammo capacity. Reload speed is probably the third best thing you can do, and then rate of fire depending on the weapon itself. But power and ammo capacity are probably the two most important things to upgrade in any weapon for the majority of the game. And then, like I said before, you can just sell shit. Now, here's the trade.
Some things money can't buy.
So the laser device, this is just a little callback to the first Resident Evil. Like, every weapon had like a little laser on it, and that's like how you stopped, and you can only stay in one place while you held down the left trigger, and then you shot with the right, and then it would always be a little laser. So that's how they kind of did that game back then. And then, sadly though, you can only put the laser sight on those three weapons: the SG-09R, the Punisher, or the Sentinel-9. So no other weapons can have this thing attached, and there are no other red dots available in the game. This is the Punisher. This is a gun that was received when you popped all of the blue medallions from the original game.
Time is money, mate.
And pretty much handgun that retains excellent penetration power with low recoil. So basically what it's saying is that this gun can go through 2 targets, and that was what it did in the old game as well. I have no need for it because I'm not going to use the Punisher, so no worries there. Things to buy, you definitely want to have the treasure map.
You've got a soft
So now every treasure will be listed on the map, so now you can't go missing anything. And then obviously in early game,
An interesting choice.
yellow herb always
I mean,
helps.
in a good way, of course. Come back anytime.
And that is actually really good inventory space. And pretty much the name of the game after this is as soon as you start running out of space, you're going to have to craft ammo, use items, or even combine your herbs together. And if you combine a green and a green, I would just put another green in there, unless it's like your last one. Because if it's double green, you might as well just make it triple green. It just heals you all the way fully. While a double green will only heal you like about 1.3% better than just the regular green. I just want to eliminate those. Okay. Then let's pick up the ammo. Now that was kind of maybe not a smart move because we don't have the gun to even use that yet. So we'll see. But I do have like one bullet spot left anyway. Okay. Then open up the map. Now you have all the regular treasures have been listed for the game. Or for the open area, I should say. So if it doesn't have a plus mark on it, that means that this is actually what you'll be able to get on your playthrough. And then the expanded map is nice because it actually shows us how many treasures we actually collected so far in a zone. So that is always appreciated. Okay.
Hello, stranger.
And like I said, sitting in that menu the whole time, he would just nonstop talk. So it's going to be kind of hard to probably commentate when he's doing that. But for the most part, Merchant should be an easy run. And then let's show this. So if we inlay the two reds, you get 12,000. If you inlay the two blues, you get 14,400. So obviously it's a lot more, right? Because more expensive diamond. Remember to hit the square to look at your bonus list. See what might work out for you better. I wouldn't waste the blue diamonds on the flagon though, because there's definitely better treasures out there. And we have yet to find the square version, so would not do it just yet. Unless you're really, really in need of money and you want the sniper rifle right now. Which could probably help in the next section, but we ain't going to do that. So.
Oh, nothing but the finest ways.
So, handgun and shotgun are all that's required for the next zone. I would make sure that you have your kitchen knives always equipped so you can get rid of these things quicker. And then your combat knife will basically be like your fallback when things get really hairy. And then that's kind of the setup you should always go with when playing the remake. But alright, I'm going to go help out Throw Up Child, and we'll be back for the next part, which will be another village takedown.